Right, welcome. Today I am going to be breaking down this landing page. So I will be doing the same as always, breaking down each sentence and telling you the specific strategies that the copywriter here is intentionally doing in order to keep the reader fully engaged as possible so that they can have that burning desire to purchase the product. So I'll be typing on my little notepad here. I usually have a pen with me, but unfortunately that is broken. So I need to get a new one ASAP. But nevertheless, we're going to get into this. I'm going to give you all the source and the notes down here, and let's get into it. So, starting off with the headline. So, as we know, every headline needs to have at least 2 out of the 4 U's. So, that is unique, useful, then urgent, then ultra specific. So at least 2 out of the 4 U's here needs to be included in every headline for the headline to actually be eye-catching enough for the reader to continue to engage with your copy, which is the main objective of every headline. So let's get into it. Discover the best mind hijacking techniques for use in one-to-one selling, presenting, and negotiation to make large dollar sales. Okay, kind of a short one here. I wouldn't say it's unique, but I would definitely say it's useful. This headline is telling us that we can discover the best mind hijacking techniques for use, which we can use in one-to-one selling, presenting, negotiation to make loads of money. So that is definitely going to be useful for us, which is going to raise that curiosity. So yes, that is useful. Is it urgent? There's nothing that gives me a sense of urgency to continue reading other than the fact that it's quite interesting, right? Mind hijacking techniques. What is that? That sounds extremely interesting and very useful. So it depends realistically on the person, but for now I wouldn't say it's urgent. Is it ultra specific? Yes, definitely. Discover the best mind hijacking techniques, and we can understand that we can use this mind hijacking technique for one-to-one selling, presenting, negotiation to make loads of money. That is a lot of information for a headline, so we can definitely say it is ultra specific. So it is useful and it is ultra specific. Those are good enough traits in a headline for the headline to actually be eye-catching enough or intriguing enough for the reader to continue reading this copy. It's useful and it's ultra specific. We want to find out more. How does this mind hijacking technique give us so many benefits that can make us large dollar sales? It's interesting. How does it do this? So let's continue. So we've got a video over here, but we won't be watching that. Okay. Let's bring this closer. So, dear friend, congratulations on investing in influential writing. I forgot to mention, this is a back-end offer. So what this means is someone has already purchased a product with this person, but now there's a new offer, an extended offer. And that means that the people that are going to be reading this, they understand who the person is, and they don't necessarily understand what the offer is because it's a new offer, it's a new product, but they understand the person. They've just bought from this person, so they are going to be considered as warm leads. So yeah, congratulations on investing in influential writing. Thank you. As you're serious about advanced persuasion techniques, I would like to consider adding the new video based training called mind hijacking. So this is just an advancement on what they already purchased, which could be massively beneficial for them. And as you can see here with the language, as you're serious. So this is a self-identity play. Self-identity play. as you're serious and you're a serious, ambitious person. And they're going to nod their heads and agree, yes, I am. So they are going to continue reading. They don't want to be seen as someone who's not serious. So this is a self-identity play and a very good tactic to keep someone engaged with your copy because they don't want to lose their ego. So most likely you are well aware of Dan Kennedy's skill at persuading people to part with large sums of money, join programs, move up ascension ladders, and behave as top value clients, customers, patients, and donors. Although Dan has revealed a lot of his methods, he has also held a whole lot back, specifically the stuff that's too hot to handle for most people. Dan has developed mind hijacks to virtually erase people's free will without them noticing and substitutes his control in its place. If that immediately disturbs you, this offer will not be for you, and it would be best if you leave this page right now. So again, he's building that self-identity play. Are you serious? Are you an ambitious person? If this might be too much to handle for you, so if it is, then move on. Most people that read this, they're not going to tell themselves that oh, I'm too soft for this. I'm not going to read this. I'm not serious about this. About making money or whatever. This is a self-identity play. They're basically guilt tripping you into continuing to read, because if you do decide to move on and leave this page, then you are basically subconsciously telling yourself that you are not serious enough, or you can't handle whatever this offer is going to be, or the mind hijacking techniques. Most people won't allow themselves to do this. Their ego won't handle it, and they will continue reading. So self-identity play is an extremely good tactic to keep the readers engaged. So if this doesn't offend you or frighten you, please read on. Nah, it doesn't offend me. I'm a tough guy. I'm going to continue reading. What is this guy telling me, Dan has quietly accumulated and used these mind hijacking techniques personally, privately, for many years, and has banked a lot of money, often from people somewhat surprised at themselves over parting with so much of it. If that level of power and control interests you, by all means read on. Yes, this level of power does interest me. I'm a serious person. So they're going to continue reading. Let's dig in. This skill is not exclusive to Dan. Over the years, lots of masters have used all kinds of mind hijacking. Let me give you 3 examples. Okay, so Dan isn't the only one that knows about these secret mind hijacking techniques that can make you a lot of money and persuade people to make decisions for your benefit. He's going to give us some examples here, which is social proof, and also going to give his product some credibility. Because now we understand that this mind hijacking technique isn't some bullshit, isn't some bullcrap. It is legit because other people have used them. Big names like Houdini, Bernie Madoff, that's the big fraudster, and who's this again? What's her name? I know her. Hillary Clinton. The politician who lost to Donald Trump, right? But she's also a powerful person, so we can listen to what she has to say about how she used this mind hijacking technique. It's extremely interesting to listen to powerful people, essentially, and how they used this mind hijacking technique, as well as Dan, who is offering us this course. So, great magicians throughout modern history, from Houdini to Copperfield to Chris Angel, all relied on it. Not that the best technical magicians are not the most famous or highest paid. The rich ones are just as good at their technical craft, but are masters of mind hijacking. There is one super powerful mind hijack that all rich magicians depend on. I have a demonstration of this from Houdini on film that is jaw-dropping. Really, really getting this worth millions of views. There are 2 magic elements in it. that's literally convinced people beyond doubt, often beyond their own logic, that the person they are observing has supernatural powers, even though they don't. So this is extremely powerful stuff. Mind hijacking, excuse me, mind hijacking techniques that can allow you to essentially trick people into giving you money, which is extremely powerful. And that's why at the start it emphasized that this is only for serious people. This is only for people who are, what did it say? For people who are strong minded and won't be easily disturbed, right? Okay, Bernie Madoff and others like him who perpetrated monstrous monstrous scams against people who should know better have all used the same mind hijacking techniques. They are potent for separating rich people from their money. One mind hijack used by all these swindlers has nothing to do with greed, profit, or gains, but it creates such a strong emotional desire that rich and very successful people are absolutely defenseless against it. If you want to get rich and successful people as clients, you have to know this one. By the way, most people think that these swindles all revolve around greed. Not so. In fact, the more affluent the victims are, the less greed was in play. Instead, there was a mind hijack that made them defenseless, not gullible, defenseless. So, what he's telling us here is this is an extremely powerful technique. This mind hijacking technique is extremely powerful and useful for you if you want to make more money and if you want to persuade people to make decisions for your benefit, i.e., give you money, right? The most vile, manipulative politicians have a favorite super reliable mind hijack they use for general fundraising and even more powerfully for getting millionaire, multi-millionaire, and billionaire supporters to contribute huge sums and to recruit others to do the same. To run a serious presidential campaign these days, you need at least $50 million. Much of that comes from very big donors. How do they do it? They all use the same premise. The answer is identical for seemingly calm and rational candidates like Hillary Clinton to extreme and vitriolic, never seen that word, candidates like Ted Cruz. All the big money raised from big donors leading up to and for the primary campaigns is raised with the same single mind hijack. It has broad application that anybody can use. Okay, that's important. Anybody can use it. So therefore it's easy and anybody can do it. So that is going to maintain full reader capacity. You are not scaring anyone away. You're not telling them that you have to be a genius. You can do that. You can do this, whoever you are. So that is going to maintain full reader capacity, and as a result, you're going to get more sales. So anybody can use this. In fact, it can radically alter the way you convert big money clients to your cause. Extremely useful. When seeking to influence, persuade, or control the decision made inside the other person's mind, is a switch flipped like no other. It brings trust and belief that you can solve their problem, their desire, whatever it is. With that switch flipped, could you then more easily get what you want? Have your own way, exercise control over another human, sell a product or a service free of common resistance? Why, yes, you could. So there's some rhetorical questions, which is going to put the readers into an imaginative state. Could you get things more easy? Could you get things more easily? Have your own way. Yes, obviously you can. This guy's telling us that this mind hijacking technique is extremely powerful, and you can persuade people to make decisions for your benefit. So this is extremely powerful. And with these questions, with these rhetorical questions, the reader now is going to be imagining all the useful benefits that they can achieve using this mind hijacking technique, which is going to keep them engaged and increase that curiosity. So, mind hijacking revealed. Let's get a little more depth about mind hijacking for the purpose of separating big game from their money. So, This isn't soft swerve sales and persuasion. Corporate executives would burst into flames if any of us dared teach this to their button-down shirt salespeople. So this is massively important. This isn't like anything else. This isn't soft serve sales and persuasion. You can't get this anywhere else. So this is a new solution or a new technique that you can use for your benefit, and you can only get this from this product from Dan, right? Corporate executives would burst into flames. They would burst into flames if any of us dared to teach this. So this is confidential, secret information. That is going to increase the perceived value. Any information that is secret for the purpose of protecting other people because it's too powerful, that is going to increase the perceived value, because now, shit, other people don't want me to learn this technique because it's that powerful. Now I want to learn this technique. I'm not going to let other people tell me what to do. This guy is giving me a new technique that I can only get from here, that is going to allow me to make more money and essentially win at life. So this is going to increase that perceived value. All right, Dan has always had to be careful about this topic. It's secret, it's confidential information. He's had to be careful. He could be killed even revealing this to you. So it's like insider secrets, right? More so as he got more and more deliberate, skilled, and ruthless at implementing it. There's virtually no risk in using it, but there's a lot of risk in talking about it. Here's why. So there's even risk. This Dan guy is putting himself at risk, even sharing this information with us. We are going to appreciate that. That he's given us away this secret source, this confidential information, and now we are absolutely curious as to what this entails. How does this work? Why are people trying to hide this information from me? Although mind hijacking has commonalities with selling in terms of the goals or outcome, the methods used are very different. You've never seen it before. It is as different as a rattlesnake is to a stuffed teddy bear. Actually, it threatens the very belief systems of sales and influence training, a multi-billion-dollar industry. So again, it's insider, confidential, secret information that I can reveal to you if you buy my course. So, mind hijacking is influence and persuasion on steroids and Red Bull, but also even more. So this is big. This is going to ignite the big emotion. This is so powerful. It's better than anything you've ever seen before. This is influence and persuasion on steroids and Red Bull. So it's big, it's powerful, and this guy has emphasized that he's risking his life. Well, not his life, I don't know, maybe, but he's risking his life even just talking to you about this, giving you this information. So it's going to, again, increase that perceived value. This is a big, powerful product. It is more in the sources it draws from and combines. It is more in its rich depth. It's psychological versus structured or mechanical basis. It is more in its sheer power. Influence, for example, can create attraction. Persuasion can create transactions. Mind hijacking can create control. So these are very dark attributes that most people want to have. They want to be able to create attraction and persuasion that can make them money, and they want to be in control of situations. People don't like to feel powerless. So this is spiking that curiosity and engagement. So we're now prepared to offer you an advanced, sophisticated, dangerous choice. Dangerous. Another self-identity play. It is dangerous. Do you have the balls to learn about this skill? You can soon have the ability to literally hijack another person's mind to do with them whatever you wish. So it's extremely powerful, and that is going to raise that curiosity. You can literally hijack another person's mind. Reread that last sentence. Seriously, do it. This is incredibly powerful and also incredibly dangerous if misused. So all this is doing is raising that perceived value, raising that value of this product, which is extremely important, because if the product you are selling doesn't really seem that important, like this one obviously, then you're going to have a hard time getting sales. People need to feel as though the product you are selling is something that can elevate their lives. So Bernie Madoff employed mind hijacking in order to steal hundreds of millions of dollars from a lot of financially sophisticated people who the press say should have known better. They did know better, but their knowledge was simply no defense against master level mind hijacking. So again, using that social proof. Bernie Madoff, who made millions or billions probably scamming people essentially by using this mind hijacking technique. So it is extremely powerful, and there's the credibility, there's the proof. Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein both unquestionably used elements of mind hijacking to take unwanted sexual advantage. Okay, that's pretty dark. Jesus, all right, yeah. Again, it's extremely powerful. There are many ways mind hijacking could be used for evil. So for all the people, all the psychos out there, all the narcissists out there, they're going to love hearing about this, because this is their chance. This is their opportunity to learn a very useful skill which can allow them to essentially persuade people into making decisions for their benefit. So that is only, again, going to raise that perceived value of this product. So restraint is called for. It's that powerful that you need to control yourself. Restraint is called for. Many of these very same little manipulations are enhanced and magnified to pull off big sales, negotiations and deals, to fuel movements, to control people's thoughts, beliefs, actions and purchases, to make investments and donations. So again, it's extremely useful. Hopefully by now you can see why this is worth a serious study. Okay, how deep and strange are mind hijacking roots? Let me tell you about one of the early masters of mind hijacking. Okay, so now we are getting into the history about this product. So Franz Anton Mesmer was a controversial German physician born in 1734, died at the age of 80, who promoted the theory that there was an energetic transference of thought and emotion called animal magnetism. He also believed fluids flowing through the human body were subject to actual magnetism. He was a former forerunner of today's energy medicine. France was a weird dude, but his ideas became well known as mesmerism. It made him famous. It was also feared. So again, it's feared by people because it's so powerful. Again, raising that perceived value. It was feared by the church. It was feared by the medical establishment. It was feared by the kings and queens of his day. It was feared by the powerful elite, who were worried that their secrets risked being exposed and destroyed. So the powerful elite, this is again building the credibility. The powerful elite are using this mind hijacking technique. Why can't you? They're keeping this secret from you, and now this guy's going to reveal it to you. So the readers are going to feel extremely lucky to be given the opportunity to learn about this skill, because the powerful elite have been using it to essentially stay in power. Enough is enough. We want to learn this skill because we are fed up of being controlled by the powerful elite. So in 1778, Dr. Mesmer had to flee Vienna to a wealthy area of Paris, where he established a medical practice treating various ailments with what he called applied animal magnetism, a precursor to hypnosis or hypnotherapy. In fact, in 1843, a Scottish physician, Dr. James Bard, first proposed the term hypnosis for a technique derived from mesmerism. Mesmerism. Okay. The rich and powerful in Paris soon divided into those who thought Mesmer was a charlatan and those who considered him to be a miracle worker who had made a great discovery. The latter group became his patrons, and Mesmer extracted such substantial fees and support that he quickly became extremely wealthy. By 1780, Mesmer had more patients on a waiting list than he could possibly treat, so he created what he called group therapy. So this Mesmer guy has been using mind hijacking techniques 300 years ago. It's an old, powerful technique that is still used by the powerful elite. So we need to get into this. Enough is enough. Let me remind you that Dr. Mesmer developed mind hijacking strategies to get large numbers of rich people eagerly standing in line to hand him large fees. Again, it's useful. We can make a lot of money with this mind hijacking technique, which is probably the biggest benefit of this technique. We can make a bunch of money, but essentially controlling people's decisions. In 1784, King Louis appointed commissioners to investigate the practice of magnetism. Soon after, Dr. Mesmer closed his practice, and in 1785 he fled Paris. He was driven into exile away from France, and the latter part of his life remains somewhat of a mystery. Setting aside any squeamish feelings about this, heck, truth told, wouldn't you like to exert undue outsized influence over others and render themselves defenseless to you? It's so powerful. This is another rhetorical question. Do you want to become someone in control of other people? Do you want to become powerful? Most training on influence and persuasion, regardless of its deep roots to mesmerism, is watered down and made palatable. Mass consumption. It's like steak, pulverized in a blender, made into mush. Why? Very simple. When you start talking about taking control of someone's thoughts, decisions, actions, and behavior away from them and doing with it whatever you see fit, most people instinctively recoil. There's a risk of being, one way or another, burnt at the stake. As has happened throughout history. Most doing it never risk discussing it, and if they ever did, most privy to such discussion would be frightened. So again, it's powerful, and Dan is risking his life to give you this secret information. Again, increasing that perceived value. Now we want to know. He's already told us enough. We want to learn this powerful skill that the powerful elites and governments and politicians and scammers and fraudsters, these people have used this mind hijacking technique to gain control over other people's decisions. Enough is enough. I want to learn about this because now you are giving me the opportunity to. Thank you, Dan. I know you're risking your life, but now I want some of those secrets. Okay, on one occasion, that was never repeated, Dan Kennedy engaged in this dangerous discussion with a small, brave group. Small, brave group. Do you see what he's doing here? You are brave. For reading this, you are brave. You have the balls to learn about this because it's extremely dangerous. So essentially, it's a self-identity play, and the readers are now going to feel brave because you are part of this group of people who want to learn this powerful technique. So these closed door recordings are now being made available to you for a limited time. Okay, limited time. There we go. There's that sense of urgency and scarcity. It's not going to be around for a long time. I can promise you this. You will be stretched further away from advertising, marketing, or selling by facts and figures than ever before in your life. What will you learn in mind hijacking? Okay, how would you like to learn how to take large sums of money from people who have such sums without using a gun or other physical force or coercion, without violating any laws, and without putting yourself in peril. I think that means in danger. What do I mean by large sum? Any number substantially higher than the norms in that product or service category. It might be $4,000 against $800 in one setting, or $40,000 versus $8,000 in another. If you sell or want to sell at such outrageous premiums, then mind hijacking is for you. So again, it's big. You can make a bunch of money with this mind hijacking technique. Okay, when I say the words taking money, to be explicit, I mean seize, take over, control. These are the synonyms for hijack. So these are powerful words. Seize, take over, control. These are the powerful traits that you can learn with this mind hijacking technique. Extremely, extremely intriguing. Most people who sell and provide all kinds of high fee services to clients are still taking and filling orders. The client defines the need, desire, assignment, or purchase. By contrast, Dan will teach you to tell the client what he needs, wants, and will get, and how much and how he will pay. A magician says, pick a card, any card, but then forces the person to pick the card the magician has chosen, all the while letting the person falsely believe he has exercised choice. The mark is amazed in his direct proportion to how little of the force he perceives, and if he doesn't realize it at all, he credits the performer with magical or supernatural powers. So if you want to be a magician, you can learn this. This force is what Dan has engineered for business owners to enable them to take large sums of money from people and have them be happy about it. So it's, again, extremely powerful. Mind hijacking lets you leap, not climb. Every year, Dan has 12 to 16 people, each paying him $30,000 a year to talk on the phone once a month for 20 minutes and to come and meet in person for one day. That's 360 grand to 480 grand net from home in 24 to 28 days, leaving 337 days unclogged. So again, increasing that perceived value. Dan is worth a lot. He charges 30,000 people a year to talk to him over the phone for 20 minutes. People want to speak to this guy. So that is raising that credibility. His credibility. There's absolutely no question that Dan Kennedy is a master manipulator, mesmerist, and controller of minds. People say yes, sir, to him and his instructions. Now it's your turn. Here's a short list of some examples of mind hijacking that are included in this training. Okay, so we've got some information of what the product entails. So Steve Jobs, another credible authority figure that displays social proof. Other people have used this. It's not made up. So yeah, here's a list of what's inside the course. Okay, now we are getting to the call to action. So here's the guarantee. So there's a guarantee. Thank you. So this is going to ignite the safe emotion. There's no risk. There's a guarantee. So you can enjoy the whole damn thing at the end and within 30 days of your purchase. Again, another 30-day money back guarantee. If you can offer any sane explanation for feeling your time was wasted and the program is not going to be worth gobs of money and a lot more, we will refund your entire fee. So it's safe. There's no risk. That is going to instantly engage that safe emotion. So at this point of the landing page, All four of the essential emotions needed for the reader to feel comfortable to purchase the product, they have been ignited successfully, because now we understand that this is a new product. It's going to ignite a new emotion. We can only get this from Dan. Dan is putting his life at risk. The powerful elite, the government, they don't want you to know about this mind hijacking technique. And that's the reason you don't know about it. Therefore, this is new information for us. And this is new, and we can only get this from Dan. It is also easy, and anybody can do it. He mentioned this previously. You can learn this technique regardless of where you are in life. Dan always delivers at least 10 times value compared to what he asks people to invest. Therefore, anybody can do it. It is also, number three, it is also safe, because now we understand there's a money back guarantee, a 30-day money back guarantee. So we can test this out for 30 days, see if it works, see if we can learn anything. And if we don't, then we can get a refund. It's safe, there's no risk. And the fourth emotion is the big emotion. This is definitely going to ignite the big emotion, because we understand that this mind hijacking technique is extremely powerful. We can become richer, and we can literally control people's decisions. This is going to give us huge success, or with whatever we want to do in life, right? And having that mind control power is going to be extremely useful. So the big emotion is ignited. So new, easy, safe, big. These four emotions, they are the essential emotions needed to be ignited in every single landing page for the reader to feel comfortable enough to purchase the product. Okay. So cool. Whatever the case, we're happy to eliminate all risks for you with this guarantee. It's safe. Try it and judge it for yourself. And here we've got the price. So the total value is $5,994, but today you can get it for $997. So this is a common copywriting tactic. They are price anchoring. They're showing you that realistically you should be paying $6,000 for this product, because that's what it's worth. But you are lucky, and today you can get it for just as low as $997. Even though that's quite expensive, it's not as expensive as $6,000, right? So that is going to reduce the perceived risk of purchasing this product as well. Okay, all right. So thank you for watching. Keep reading professional copy like this. Keep analyzing professional copy, because that is the fast route to becoming an exceptional copywriter. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Bye bye.